Hello people, I hope you all are doing good. Welcome to our channel, and this video will be about null pointer exception for basically main four data types like integer, string, big decimal, and double. So when we receive null pointer exception, okay, so this is in total Java based like everything. So yeah, we face null pointer exception, and for best design for the best practice, we always try to handle null pointer exception in our jobs. So in this video, I will just show you the syntax for all the four data types, how you can use to avoid null pointer exception. Okay. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Okay, I have taken a file, okay, and mainly I used four columns, and with this is the integer value, this is the string value, this is the big decimal, and this is the double column. Okay, so this file I have taken, and see, whenever you select any file, no, so in schema, okay, just go to view schema. You see here by default, there is a column. Talend provide you many things, okay? Like for every single small to big thing. Like you see, this is a default column in your schema. So this is for the value in case it have no values coming from the column. So you can select any value in this default column. Okay, so this will treat this also considered as a way to avoid null pointer exception. Like in case if a value is coming from this column as nothing, then we can use, yeah, in default you can use 0. In a string you can just type null. Similarly for all the columns. Okay, so one practice is to provide the value in this default column in your schema. Okay, so this is the first point. Now second thing is that similarly when you go on the tmap, and when null pointer exception thrown, when first of all, first case is that if we just transfer our input data directly into the output data, like these four columns I have used on the I extracting data directly from this table. So in this case, very rarely your null pointer exception is going to come. Okay, whenever we fetch data from our input column to output column, then it is rarely through your error. Okay, but when we compute some input columns, okay, input coming data, and we compute something, anything like comparing a value or doing transformation, anything, and then using that variable into our output column, then we face null pointer exception. Generally this is the case where we mostly face the null pointer exception. So please keep in the mind, this is the most important thing. Whenever we try to create a variable and do a computation and then use that variable as an output column, then only we face, or not only, but this is the only case where we mainly face null pointer exception. Okay, I hope this is clear. And this is a good practice also. Like you have multiple computation for a single field or for other fields, then you should create a variable and then you should use that variable in your output column. This is also one of the best practice. Okay, but for a best practice, this is one of the main point is always handle null pointer exception. Okay, so we are good to go. And now let's just checking second point to avoid null pointer exception. First, I just showed you how define your default value in your schema. Second thing is that similarly, this is your output column. You can use same. This is also default column. You can provide value here also, doesn't matter. Okay, but sometimes what happen, if you after providing value in these default column also, na, we receive null pointer exception. So in that case, what you gonna do? So this is the last thing you can try. And yeah, this is the syntax for all your main data type. Like this is for integer. Okay, so what you need to check first, for integer you need to check row 1, this integer column should not be equals to null. Okay, and just apply your computation, whatever calculation you want to try, and then just use this thing. Okay, if it is not null and is greater than one value, then you, yeah, transfer this column value, otherwise as a 0. 0 means it will treat as a default, right? A value is coming as a null, then it will use as 0. So integer is very simple. Similarly for syntax, string, it is also very simple. You know, this is relational. This is relational routine. You can go and you can check the first function here. This is null. When you will click no, so this will appear. Okay, this thing appear in inside the bracket. You need to mention your coming row or your field, input field, and I have applied this not condition. So yeah, this column should not be equals to null. Okay, if it is not null, then please transfer this column data. Otherwise, just use null. Okay, so if it is not null, transfer your column data. If it is null, then just transfer null value into your output column. So this is for your string handling. Very simple. Now we are going to check for BigDecimal. So what is BigDecimal? Similarly, just check this one. You can try relational one also, like relational and IsNull. So just I'm going to change this because you need to know the best practice. So if you just use here this thing, like row, this column should, if it is null, check is it null or not, and if it is null, then pass new value. Yeah, you need to see this syntax very carefully. If it is null, then please pass a value as a 0. And for passing 0 value, we need to use this function like new BigDecimal and in the bracket 0. That means only default value, which is nothing. And if it is not null, then pass your column value. Okay, so this is very important. Check your BigDecimal column field. If it is null or not, is null, what function it is doing, it is checking is null or not. So if it is null, then pass 0 value in it. And how to pass 0 value in BigDecimal, like the syntax. New is for creating your new object, right? So this is the syntax, and if it is not null, then pass your column value, doesn't matter. Okay, good. Similarly for double also, just check your this column, no? Okay, if it is null means it will return you true and false. Okay, so if it is null, then it will return you true. So if it is null, then pass 0 value. Okay, so this is for passing a default value. If it is not null, then please pass whatever data coming from my column. So what is new in this video? This new syntax, how to pass this default value in double and BigDecimal, like this is with the new keyword and just your data type with like what digit you want to pass. All right, so Talend will handle whatever. You can check your if you face and next time any error with the for these data type, you can just try once. Okay, first step was to set your default value in from input schema, or otherwise you can set in output table also, doesn't matter. If these both doesn't work, then we need to try with this syntax. Okay, or you also know, when we face null pointer exception, whenever we compute input column data and we provide that value in our output table, then we generally face our null pointer exception. So I hope this is very clear to you, like how to, this, how to handle null pointer exception. So thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.